breakfast puppies?
This podcast contains adult language and content and is meant for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Glitter Boys, The Glitter Boys, The Glitter Boys. You're listening to The Glitter Boys, and it's time to welcome you to Podcast Land.
So NPC,
So Jacob,
New Year.
Happy New Year, Jacob.
Last time you and I got together to record, one of the topics we discussed was keeping the game going over the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've survived the holidays.
Yep.
So it's time to look to the future. No, we're not going to do New Year's resolutions in gaming.
Mm-mm.
No.
No. Over the years, I have tried harder and harder to not make New Year's resolutions because you break them.
However, I know both you and I have, independently of each other, been putting a lot of effort into planning our not necessarily goals, but want-to-dos for this coming year as far as gaming things we want to try to happen or are actually in the process of starting to execute.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what our hoped-for plans for this coming year are. Of course, we can't talk about one of the big secret projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Redacted Project.
The Redacted Project. If you want to learn ever so slightly more about the Redacted Project, come join us on our Discord, and you may pick up hints here and there.
All I got to say is, man, I don't want to set no world on fire. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Cletus. Just going to call it there. Okay. Anyway.
So, gaming in 2025. Any big projects or plans that you have?
Well, I'm getting back into the weekly game.
Yep.
Hopefully this weekend.
Yep.
If we get enough people to join in. It's kind of been touch and go. I think one of our players, it's their birthday, so they may or may not be able to make it. But if we do kick something off, I'm excited for a brand new adventure. So I started this whole campaign off. It started with Palladium First Edition, and I was converting old OG D&D modules to Palladium and adding my own flair to them.
Mm-hmm.
It shifted into a different system because I'm also wanting to bring back my Hammer Crawl games.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, I want a better system for it. So we've been playtesting a lot of that stuff. So we shifted the characters over to the Hammer Crawl system, but we are still in the Palladium world.
Mm-hmm.
And the next adventure that I am converting is it's not an old one. I've decided I am converting something from an OSR campaign book.
Okay.
I like what I've done so far to string some of the concepts together.
The first thing I'm working on is figuring out my con calendar for the year.
Oh yeah, GameStorm's coming up.
Yeah, I missed the I haven't technically missed the deadline, but I know I'm going to miss the deadline to figure out if I'm going to run anything for that. So that's out. But there's Wagon Con, and there's potentially a couple other conventions that I might be attending, and I'm going to hammer out what I'm going to be running for those cons, hopefully by top of February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got any ideas?
Well,
what are you thinking of running?
One of the big things is I have several Delta Green games that I've written that are designed for convention play, which is a great way to play it, and great for introducing new players. And I'm just polishing those up and quote unquote boxing them up. So I have all my materials and stuff ready to go. And we're planning on running that at Wagon Con and potentially a couple other cons. I am considering what else I want to bring to the table as well. I have a couple things that I'm looking at. Potentially a Conan game.
Ooh. We're talking Modifius Conan.
Oh, we're talking Modifius Conan.
Okay. I'm interested.
Yeah. and I know that I have almost all the pieces together to run a convention long game for a very specific convention for a very specific group of people that happens in the fall in the Dalles.
Are we talking a camp?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
a
okay.
camp convention.
I'm interested.
Yes. I even have my wind-resistant tropical weight uniform jacket all set for a weekend-long interlocked series of adventures, one a day for recon.
Oh, fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Playing recon in the mud. What more could you want?
In the cold and the heat.
Yes.
the burning days and the freezing nights of 4K farms out in the Dalles.
Yep. So, getting my con games hammered out and boxed up and ready to go for the conventions, so I don't have to think about them beyond ahead of the convention, pulling out all of my materials, refreshing my memory, and going from there is my first big goal of the year.
Nice. I would like to bring Valley of the Pharaohs to the table. I got the book a couple days ago. It's a beautiful book.
Beautiful book.
It is a lot thicker than I expected it to be.
That book is a weapon.
It's not quite Dungeon Crawl Classics levels of bullet stoppage.
Yeah.
But it's approaching it.
Yep.
Like that's a hefty tome. Yeah.
That's a half a Hackmaster right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's about half a Hackmaster. I would say it bears a similar thickness to my Fading Sun's second edition book up there.
I would say it's thicker, but you know,
about a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, it's beautiful. Beautiful cover, beautiful back cover. The contents are great. I'm looking forward to diving into it. It'd be neat to get it to the table. Mm-hmm. I'm unsure if I could do the setting justice myself.
Well, conveniently, we can roll into my second goal of the year, which is whenever my book, Valley of the Pharaohs, shows up, I, too, would like to run Valley of the Pharaohs. I have a huge love for the history and mythology of across the history of Egypt. I mean, you know, when you're sitting here talking about how Ramses the First, Pharaoh of Egypt, had an official court archaeologist, different name, but that was literally his title. His job was figuring out what these ancient ruins in their country were, because Egypt as a entity lasted that long while there were successive dynasties throughout it. It was a geopolitical and cultural entity pretty much that entire period. I have a huge love and passion for the history and culture up into the modern day. And I have a great passion for the mythology of Egypt. And so Valley of the Pharaohs is like firmly in my wheelhouse, and I really want to do it. It's one of those two eras that I really like playing around in role-playing settings.
Well, if I remember correctly, a few of us all chipped in and went in together on one of the sessions that Matthew Ballant himself would run for us.
Ooh, yes, that's
so
right.
It'd be nice to get that going. I've reached out to Matthew Ballant and a number of other Palladium adjacent people already to see if we can set up some interviews and discussions for the podcast. I've already got a confirmation from one of them that I'm very excited to get on here.
Oh, my God.
Very excited. Not going to say anything yet. I'm fucking stoked.
Let me just say, this is me pulling back the podcasting curtain just ever so slightly. We have a chat amongst the hosts of Glitterbois for planning topics, scheduling, that sort of thing. And one of the things I've come to learn about Nathaniel is you often can tell his level of excitement about something because he tends to get more verbose until he hits this point. And he just will say like 5 words tops, and that's the point you know he's hit peak Nathaniel excitement.
Yep. That's pretty accurate, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, it gets to a point where I'm like, oh, gee, oh my God, it fucking happened. Look at this.
Yep. The brain is so excited the words are not reaching the fingertips to make the keyboard work.
Well, that's one I'm definitely excited about. I've got others that are pending. Hopefully we can get Kevin back on to talk more. I think we still got several games to go. I know. I'm looking forward to talking about some Nightbane and some Dead Rain and some of the other silly stuff. Maybe get some Spicers up in there. I'm not sure how much of a role that he had in that one, but
yeah, definitely.
It had his stamp of approval, so he's probably got something to say about it.
So we just both talked about how we both want to do Valley of the Pharaohs this coming year. What's next on the topic list for you?
Well, I've been bitten hard by the Modifius 2D20 system bug.
Yes, you have.
My collection is growing.
You may have a problem, sir.
Not quite. I'm very particular in the ones that I am collecting. I've gone all in on the Dreams and Machines setting. I like it. I think that's a good low barrier to entry mechanical system for gamers to bring in new people. And I've been running demos for it here and there. The Fallout 2D20 system, I think, is fucking brilliant. The Conan, I think I have almost every book for
Between you and I think we have almost every. I think there's like 2 we don't have.
Yeah. And lately, I've been reading a lot of Achtung Cthulhu.
Yep. Great system.
I'm not really into Cthulhu so much, but I like some of the Cthulhu adjacent stuff. Like the, is it Yig? The snake god, or who may or may not be Set or related to Set if you're into the Conan stuff. And I like that. I like the Yith, the cone people, who can take over, swap personalities of people and across eons, kind of stuff. That is more my jam. And Achtung Cthulhu, I think a lot of it leans heavy into the shooting Nazis stuff, but there's some good Nazi adjacent stuff in there. Like the Egyptian campaign is top notch,
especially if you are in on all of the shenanigans that happened in Egypt during World War II and before.
And also I went pretty heavily into the Cohors Cthulhu setting, which is the Roman Empire.
This is the one that stunned me that you went that heavy into.
Well, so you see, again, I'm not all that into Cthulhu, but I find aspects of the Roman Empire to be fascinating. Not so much the military thing, which I think it's going to have a heavy focus on the military, but the political scheming of the Romans and just the dynasties there as well that would happen, and the transition from the Republic to the Empire. All of that I find very fascinating. But what sealed it for me was, I think it was Chris Birch or somebody who was basically said, this is what Conan became. And since they can't do Conan anymore,
right,
there we go. So I bought it.
I should dust off the 3 scenarios I wrote for Call of Cthulhu that are all set during the Roman Empire, during the reign of Marcus Aurelius. And I think you would enjoy that, given what you're talking about. It's heavily political. It's actually, in 3 episodes, ends up being a little bit of a grand tour of the empire at that time.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Like a major portion of it takes place in what was called the North African colonies.
Yeah.
So, it's great. And it's really designed for a party that is cosmopolitan, i.e., in terms of the groups that made up the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
It's not all a bunch of Romans. It's designed to maximize, like, the 3 adventures. I developed stock PCs for it, for if I wanted to run it as 3 adventures across a convention or something. and it includes a North African gladiatrix, a Gaul, a someone from Hispaniola, and a Greek character, or 3 of the stock characters. And so it's there, and it heavily leans into the internal politics of the Roman Empire unified.
Something else I'm looking forward to it for is that it's going to be so far the closest thing that we have yet to 2D20 systems take on technology that is basically Bronze Age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love Bronze Age gaming. I love the limitations of technology. I love the cultural separations, and I love everything about the Bronze Age except RuneQuest. I can't stand RuneQuest. I've tried so many times.
It's okay. You're just sick in your soul.
But I want to play low down to the earth Bronze Age characters.
Yes.
I don't want to play gods.
Yes.
Which is essentially what you are in RuneQuest. Like I just, when everything is epic and big and match. No. Bring it down. You know, I want to I want a Bronze Age survival game.
Oh, so you want me to run the Autumn Lands?
I don't know that game.
Oh, well, it's not a game. It's one I designed, actually. It's entirely playing in immediately post-Roman contact Celtic Ireland.
Also, the problem with RuneQuest is you have to read 18 tomes to even understand 5 of the words in a paragraph of the book.
Yes.
Who are these? What is? But why? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, this is a nice segue into one of the things I'm doing in this coming year. I don't have the official start date, but I'm going to be running a One Ring campaign.
Oh my fucking God, you just read my mind. Earlier in this very conversation, I was thinking, should I bring up the One Ring? Because I'm looking at it over your shoulder on my shelf behind you, the box set with the leather-bound book, and thinking, I remember a long time ago, Jacob was like, I'm going to run this. And I thought, man, I would love to play in this and play it straight, play like a Tolkienian character. Should I bring it? Is this the year? Is this the year it's going to happen? Jacob, is this the year?
This is the year, because I spent my holiday season doing some little bits of work here and there on it. I was having a miss where I just wasn't finding that thing that was bringing it together so I could tell a cohesive Tolkien-esque story. And then yesterday, I went to the movies.
What did you watch at the movies,
Lord
Jacob?
of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim. We will not go into Jacob's breakdown of Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, beyond the fact that I enjoyed it, and my continuing trend of disagreeing with critics on Rotten Tomatoes continues to be intact. But it gave me the eureka moment I needed, the seed of the story. And I laid in bed during my wind down period, not winding down because my mind was going a million miles an hour and I was writing up notes left, right, and center on my tablet. And yes, it is going to happen. And we're going through that.
Oh, it's January.
It's January.
That means it's Tolkien month again.
Oh, you know what tomorrow is, right?
That his birthday?
It's his birthday.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
Then what I'm watching tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you better. I know that my house is going to just be, whenever my beloved spouse wakes up, I am going to hear the initial strains of Fellowship of the Ring. And from that point, I have to set a timer so I'm not in any important phone conversations when the Ride of the Rohirrim happens, because I will not be able to hear everything because it is only played at max volume with someone yelling in the background.
Yeah. And then the Annie Lennox song is playing and everyone's crying.
Yes.
Oh.
So
well,
yeah.
I want to
Yeah, will definitely happen. It's probably going to be multiple groups, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
It's just because A, so many people want in, and B, it's kind of developing into kind of a wide-ranging story that is better told by separate threads.
Well, if you think you have the wherewithal to handle that, I mean, then God bless.
Yes.
I want in though.
Yes, you want in. You are one of many people who want in.
Okay. I want to play the pony.
You want you.
No.
No, your character has already been decided. You will be playing the grandfather of Bill.
Okay. I can do this.
The most important character in the Fellowship of the Ring. Any other goals for 2025?
I think off the top of my head, really, I think I've said all of the things. Like, I know in the past I've looked towards the year and been like, I want to play this, I want to play this, or whatever. You know, it'd be nice to focus on fewer things this year for me. Like, I think I want to try and trim down some of my projects. I want to make the games that I'm instead of running new games, I want to take the games that I'm currently committed to and just focus on them entirely.
Yeah. Whereas I'm in the opposite camp due to personal reasons. My gaming scaled back immensely over the last 2 years just because of new job, stuff that happened in my personal life, that sort of thing. And I did a lot less gaming over the last 24 months. And so it's like I'm expanding back out. My last two things are a certain recon project I have been working on since, well, I mean, it was supposed to be a collab originally, and stuff happened, and the collab is not happening due to various reasons. None of them, well, okay, bad, but valid. And I got all of my agreements in place to be able to execute, and I have my general through line. And so we're going to be off and running. I'm targeting that one to start hopefully end of March, top of April.
Okay.
So that's going to be happening. And the last thing is I am going to be putting a project I've been working on off and on for about 2 years. Very quietly. It's going to be the first real playtesting of a game system I've been working on.
What?
Yeah.
I knew nothing of this.
You knew nothing about this. Although someone near and dear to you knew a little bit about it. Because...
Why you not tell me? We could be playing for years.
Because they were one of the people who inspired it.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's
okay.
It's a very collaborative RPG game.
Okay. A role-playing game?
Role-playing game. A role-playing game that, like, Session 0 is not an option in this one.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Like you and I are big on Session 0 being a thing anyways, but, like, the players... Key parts of the game have to be created by the players collaborating together.
I am totally on board with this.
Yes. Yeah. And most of you will be related. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Also, you might, just if you have a Black Impala and a box of cassette tapes, you got the vibe going a little bit. Just going to leave it there.
Okay. We got the Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Carry On My Wayward Son.
Oh, okay. All right.
That too.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
We'll just say it's leans heavily into supernatural Americana and leave it there.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's my 2025 plans.
Nice. I hope to keep doing this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope 2025 sees us reach episode 200.
Yeah.
who knows what we're going to do, or if anything special. I mean, who knows? Maybe not. I just want to keep doing it. We've got so much to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
It's a megaverse of content.
Yes.
Waiting to be pried open and either glowed upon or bitched about by some nerds talking into microphones.
And since this is the Glitterbois, and I know if I don't say this, I am going to get yelled at. The Dead Rain game by your favorite in-house survivalist will be happening in 2025. I've committed.
Oh, do we want to put that on the air?
Yeah.
I'm making a note here to maybe edit this out.
Well, here's the thing. Several people in our Discord will be blowing me up going like, why was it not on the 2025 list? And I'm like, oh.
Okay. Well.
So, yeah.
Well, folks, you heard it here. So, you know whose feet to across the coals.
Yep. It'll be late summer.
Happen.
That one's planned for late summer. So, yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing else other than, the secret project, which moves along. And I think at a pretty nice pace. I'm excited the way that things are moving in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, folks. Happy New Year to you and yours. I hope that gaming is plentiful and pleasant for all of you out there. I just ordered my Palladium grab bag yesterday. I'm looking forward to it. I asked for basically only swag. I just want like pencils and stuff to decorate my office with. I'm looking forward to it. And I know that so many of you have received yours. We've seen people talking about them on our Discord. Many people seem to be using them as opportunities to introduce others to the game. I've done this before as well. I think it's a noble cause, and I encourage everyone to do it. You still have a few days left by the time this airs to get your Palladium grab bag in before the holiday season is officially over, as says Kevin. And anyway, that's all I got.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Happy 2025 to you. Get your gaming in.
Yeah. Drop our Discord and tell us about your gaming plans.
Please do. Please do.
We'd love to hear about them. Anyway, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you soon.
Starships, magic, mystic martial arts, romance. All of these can be found in A Cloak of Blades by Isaac Scher. You might have heard my name before. I've done a lot of voiceover work for Breakfast Puppies, and I've recently released my first novel. It's available on Amazon as an ebook and paperback, and you can get it for free if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I do hope you'll support my work as you're supporting Breakfast Puppies, and it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Have a good one.
You've been listening to The Glitterbois, a Palladium Books fan podcast. Glitterbois, Rifts, the Megaverse, and all other such topics are the property of Kevin Siembieda and Palladium Books. Please buy all their stuff and help keep them in print and making more games. You can order directly at palladiumbooks.com, and their entire catalog is available digitally at Drive-Thru RPG as well. Our opening music is 8-Bit Bass and Lead by Furby Guy from freesound.org. This closing music is Caravana by Philip Gross, available at freemusicarchive.org. All sound effects used are self-made or acquired via Creative Commons Zero license. If you like what you have heard, find us on Twitter and Facebook as The Glitterbois. That's BOIS. And check us out online at breakfastpuppies.com/glitterbois. And also join us on the Breakfast Puppies Network Discord at breakfastpuppies.com/discord. And if you want to help us out, please spread the word and help us build a community. Thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next time.